Hello guys and welcome back to Excelsior Academy. Myself Dr. Ruby Joshi and today we are going to do lecture 10th as part of the Cooper summary series and we are studying the cell signaling. आज हम बहुत ही interesting pathways पढ़ने जा रहे हैं. Those are your Wnt signaling and Notch signaling pathways. So these are really very important to understand because like whenever you start studying your Dev Bio also, so mainly these signaling are playing a very crucial role. So this is what we're going to learn today. So the Wnt and the Notch pathways. So the Wnt pathway, it is an example of a signaling system that activates the transcription factors by inhibiting their ubiquitination and degradation. इसका मतलब क्या? The transcription factors are not degraded. ठीक है? उनको आपने inhibit किया है. So first, this Wnt pathway we have seen or we have studied in the case of the Drosophila, and members of the Wnt family have been found to control a wide range of events, which is mainly playing important role in the development of both the vertebrate and invertebrate embryos, as well as playing a key role in regulating the proliferation of stem cells in the adult tissue. So this is what I was speaking about. So once you start your Dev Bio, and guys, Gilbert is the best book to study the Dev Bio concepts. So once you start studying all those developmental biology theory and also you'll see that this Wnt pathway and the Wnt family proteins are actually playing a very important role. Okay, as just now we have seen that it is important for both vertebrate as well as the invertebrate embryos and also for the stem cells. Okay, so let's study these pathways in detail. So these Wnt proteins are family of secreted growth factors which will bind to the complex of receptors of the frizzled and the LRP families. So the signaling from the frizzled NRP leads to stabilization of beta catenin. Now this is very important to understand, okay, because beta catenin plays a huge amount of important role. So in this case, for example, it is also transmembrane protein. So your beta catenin is actually a transmembrane protein and it also links catenins to actins at the adenin junctions. So importantly, linking catenins to actin is the only it is one of the role of the beta catenin. Okay. Now, in the case of the Wnt signaling, beta catenin also act as a direct regulator of gene expression by functioning as a transcriptional activator. So before we proceed, like what important role is played by the beta catenin, I'll just show you one figure where you can see how beta catenin is actually helping in the adenin junctions and the desmosomes. Okay, so this is the figure where you can see that the adenin junctions are there, and here cadherin and the catenin. You can see over here how nicely it is actually the actin filaments and the catenins are held together with the help of the beta catenin. So you can see over here. Let me show you. Let me show you with the marking over here. So you can see that cadherin proteins are there. This is your adherent junctions, okay, between the two cells. Agar aap, like if you make your two cells like this, like side by side, so this portion we are actually talking about. Like कैसे इन दोनों को connected रखा है. So cadherin is there. Then you can see that alpha catenin, vinculin, and the actin filaments are there. So they are held together with the help of the beta catenin. Okay. Now, in the case of desmosomes also, similarly, it is being held with the help of the beta catenin. So, in adenin junctions, catenin link the actin filaments of one of the cell to the actin filaments of the another. In desmosomes, desmosomal catenins link to intermediate filaments of the adjacent cells. Okay? So, this is how it is also playing important role in the adenin junctions. Now, okay, so that is the important role played by the beta catenin in the case of linking the catenins. Now, whereas in the case of the Wnt signaling, it is playing a direct regulator of gene expression by acting as a transcriptional activator. So now we will study about that. So in the Wnt pathway, so whenever there is the absence of the Wnt, so Wnt actually यहाँ पे क्या है? It is the ligand, right? So this Wnt, that is like it is in the absence. So आपका Wnt signal नहीं है. So what will happen then? So the frizzle and LRP receptors are kept like that only, right? Now, in the absence of the Wnt, the beta catenin is, so the beta catenin is phosphorylated by the GSK3. in complex with the casein kinase 1, axin and APC. So APC is what your anaphase promoting complex, which is helping in the destruction. Okay, आपका degradation में help करता है, ubiquitination में help करता है. So what will happen? So once the beta catenin is getting phosphorylated with the help of the destruction complex that is made up of GSK3, axin and APC. This entire thing is the destruction complex. It will add the ubiquitin groups over here, and finally this entire thing will be um, destined to the proteosomes where the degradation will happen. Okay, so what is happening? कोई भी gene expression नहीं हुआ है, so your transcription is being repressed. Okay, now this in the case of the absence of the Venn signal. Now what happens when the Venn signal is present? So that time when the Venn polypeptides are there, so it will go and bind to the frizzled and the LRP receptors. Now this will lead in the recruitment of the disheveled and inactivation of the destruction complex. Okay, so when the destruction complex is being inactivated, what will happen? The beta catenin is actually remains stabilized. Okay, active. So this beta catenin will be recruited inside the nucleus, and it will form a complex with the TCF transcription factors, and hence what will happen? It is going for the activation of the transcription, and it is helping in the gene expression. Okay, so in the event there was no in the absence of the event signal, the beta catenin is being destroyed, whereas in the presence of the event, the beta catenin is being stabilized, and hence the transcription of the genes is taking place. Okay, so the same thing just now what we have discussed, it's written over here, and let's go through what is given in the text also. So in the absence of the Venn signaling, beta catenin is phosphorylated with the GSK3 in a complex with casein kinase 1 and the axin APC. So this entire thing is called the restriction complex. Now such phosphorylation of beta catenin, it will result in its ubiquitination and degradation. Now the binding of Venn, it leads to the association of the disheveled. It's a protein, okay? It's a cytoplasmic protein with frizzled, which disrupts the destruction of the complex, and hence GSK activity is inhibited and not able to phosphorylate the beta catenin, and thus what will happen? It will prevent the degradation of the beta catenin. So your beta catenin is being stabilized, it will be recruited to the nucleus, and the gene expression will take place. Okay, so this is what we have discussed right now. So in the absence of the beta catenin, TCF factors act as a repressor. Now the association will convert them into the activators, leading to the expression of the target genes encoding other cell signaling molecules. Okay? So that was all about the Venn signal pathway. Now the Notch pathway is another highly conserved signal pathway that controls the fate of the cell during the animal development. So it is also an example of direct cell-cell interactions during the development. So what is Notch actually? So Notch is actually your protein with a single transmembrane domain, which will serve as a receptor for signaling by transmembrane proteins like delta on the surface of the adjacent cells. So guys, this is important to remember that your Notch is actually a transmembrane protein, okay, and it serves as a receptor for the other membrane proteins. Okay, now the stimulation of Notch initiates a novel and a direct pathway of transcriptional activation. So let's talk about the Notch signaling. So you see that over here, Notch is actually a single transmembrane protein. So this is acting as a receptor over here. Okay. So this is acting as the receptor. Now, what is going to be the ligand? Ligand is going to be the delta, the another protein. Okay. So it acts as a receptor for direct cell-to-cell signaling by transmembrane proteins on the neighboring cells. So the binding of delta to the Notch, it will lead to the proteolytic cleavage of Notch by the gamma secretase. So this gets activated and this protein will get secreted out. So this is having the Notch intracellular domain. Now this will be translocated to the nucleus, and it is going to interact with the CSL transcription factor to induce the gene expression. Okay, so I hope this is clear. The Venn signal pathway we have studied, like in the absence what happens, in the presence what is happening. Okay, so the beta catenin is being stabilized. Now in the case of the Notch signaling, you have got the transmembrane, single transmembrane protein. So once the delta binds to the Notch, what happens is that gamma secretase gets activated. It removes the intracellular domain, and this domain is being recruited inside the nucleus, where it goes and binds to the CSL transcription factor and inducing the gene expression. So this is about the notch signal. Okay, so let's talk about the same thing, what it's written over here. So in particular, ligand binding leads to proteolytic cleavage of notch by the gamma secretase. Okay, and then it is not translocated to the nucleus. Just now we have discussed the same thing. Then it interacts with the transcription factor called CSL in mammals and converts it from a repressor to an activator of its targeted gene. So as in the Venn signaling pathway, the notch target genes include genes encoding other transcriptional regulative proteins which act to determine the cell fate. So together these two pathways, these two signaling pathways are playing very important role in the determination of the cell fate. So guys, that's all for today. It was really important to understand how this Venn signaling and the non signaling pathways are working together. And this is going to help in understanding the other pathways also when we talk about the development of the embryo, etc. Once we start the DevBio summary series also. So I'm going to take Gilbert as a reference book, and the series will be starting as soon as possible. So thank you guys. Hope you are watching the summary series and trying to make your own notes and prepare for your exam. So till then, take care, guys.